Hey, welcome to our next case study that we've got here now. It's a little bit windy right now, so you may hear a little bit of blowing. It's not really hurricane winds, but we've got a little bit of wind here and there, so appreciate you putting up with this because this is one of our most important and most successful case studies that we want to talk about. Jason, why don't you briefly give our folks kind of an idea about the property, kind of went on, give them just a little bit of background.
Sure, no problem. First of all, we're at Seasons View Mall Apartments. You can see the sign in the background. We've owned this property for roughly 2 years, 2.5 years. When we purchased this property, the land behind us here was actually vacant. It was just a grassy area that we mowed. We decided to build 20 garage units on this property, and they turned out just great.
Yeah, so let me interrupt you for a second. So you're talking about that building was
that
there.
Building, there's the main building. Yep.
The garages here were not there. Okay, great.
Yeah,
great.
So as far as the garages, extra income, obviously, more value, obviously. The building itself, 24 one-bedroom units. As always, got an excellent deal on it. And as far as the case study is concerned, the first year return wasn't the greatest, but we had kind of planned for that. But it was still pretty good. And second and third year were awesome, obviously, with the added income from the garages. And we also refinanced for a much lower interest rate on our main loan. So it's doing great right now, kicking butt, kicking out a lot of cash flow to the partners. And one thing we'll show you, Darren will grab the camera here, but we'll walk closer to the building so you can look at the decks. We actually added some siding, and I'll show you some other little itty-bitty items that help out quite a bit.
Talk about two quick things. Number one is the first year when we took over, we knew that we weren't going to be having a lot of cash coming in, cash flow, because the kind of work that we were doing building these garages, right? So we pretty much knew what we had, but it was just going to kind of take us about 8 to 12 months to get there. So kind of fast forward to today, what are we looking at in terms of general? Talk about two things. One, kind of where we're at in terms of return, and two, talk about what we paid for the property versus what the property's worth now. Okay.
Well, I'm going to start with two, actually. Our refinance for the new loan that we did get, our increase in property value was 21+%. That's increase in value. So added garages, and then backing up what Darren said, the first year, we had to spend some money. We did some things to help us with that valuation. Things like putting some more money into the units to get higher rents. That was a big key. And then also spending some money on reducing our property taxes significantly, roughly about 40 to 45%. So higher income, lower expenses, translates year 2, year 3, much higher value. And then again, like I said, some other little things that we've done to help the value out.
Fantastic. Big payoffs for us, big payoffs for our investors right now. This is a property as you can probably hear the traffic, close to all the tenant conveniences. It's a place where the residents want to be. This is the kind of project that works well day after day, and this is the kind of project that we know once we get into it, we're able to increase the value, increase it significantly, heck, 20+% in a matter of months. That's the kind of project that our investors love and love to be a part of. So you talked about going inside, right?
Yeah. Let's check some things out real quick.
Sounds good.
All right, so before we go inside, 24 unit with the 20 garages. So I'm going to show you a few things on the outside. Darren, if you would come up here. First thing I'll show you, pretty simple, solar motion sensor lighting. Costs about $40 for one of those. They'll last quite a while, but they definitely cut our electricity costs down quite a bit and provide a lot of good quality lighting for our residents using the sidewalks and driveways. Also, we get a better look at the decks back here. But as we're walking, you can see brand new siding. When we purchased the building, it was not sided with maintenance-free vinyl siding. We ended up doing that through operations. So we didn't pull money out of reserve to do it. Property was cash flowing so well, we decided to side it, add more value. Also, it's more aesthetically pleasing to potential residents. They love it. More motion sensor lighting for this walk over here. Here you can get a good picture of the decks, Darren, that we added. What's really important to note about the decks, I can't say this too loud because some of the doors are open, but these decks, they add about 20% in rents to those upper units. We've already increased the rents. We already kind of warned them. and they're perfectly okay with it. People love to have the decks or balconies. Added space, added usage. Want to go inside?
Yeah, let's go in. Let's check it out.
All right. All right, so we're going to head inside. As you can see, secured entrance. Residents love the secured entrance. This building is pretty interesting. It's very unique. It has an open atrium area. We actually did put a new roof on as well, and that was part of the deal when we purchased the property about 2.5 years ago. One thing that's nice about this open area, provides a lot of sunlight, so obviously we can have some nice plants in here and stuff like that, but also during the winter it still provides some heat coming through the roof up there. And it's easy to maintain and keep fairly clean. As you can see, it's exposed aggregate floor. This was a water fountain, but just due to the cost of running the water and the risk of it freezing in the winter, we decided to just put some plants in there, some mulch. That's pretty much it, Darren. Anything else that you can think of?
No. I mean, where are we at with occupancy right now? Talk about that a little bit.
Full with a waiting list.
Okay. All right. That's
the norm.
That's the way you want to be.
Yeah.
What do you see for the future with this property in terms of occupancy? You think it's going to improve?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, keep improving? I mean, it's kind of hard to improve with a waiting list, but I mean, this isn't anything that's just temporary. This is pretty much the result of knowing what we're doing going into the property in the first place, right?
Right. And just due to the location, the other things that we've talked about, we're going to continue to increase rents as we usually do. And yeah, there's always going to be a waiting list here.
Okay.
They're nice one-bedroom units. They're large, and it's a great place for people to live.
Okay. With this case study, Jason, any final thoughts or comments about this property in terms of it being one of our case studies?
Well, I think the most important thing to know is these deals come available a lot, and it's a lot of what we've done as far as literally rolling up our sleeves and making these things happen. So don't hesitate in getting involved in some of these.
Great advice. Jason, thanks for taking us through today. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Darren.
See you.